Hey guys, it's Ashley Nicole with Passion, Purpose, and Paychecks. I'm here with a very special guest, my father, Pastor Keith Williams. His church is Cornerstone Christian Fellowship, where I also attend, and it's 4101 Flossmoor Rd. We're here this week because pastors have recently been in the news, but not for something so good. Charlamagne, the God of the Breakfast Club, made Pastor Daryl Smith Donkey of the Day because he claimed that Donald Trump was the most pro-black president of his time.
Well, according to Pastor Darrell Scott, who is 60 years old, he says that Donald J. Trump, our 45th president of the United States of America, is the most pro-black president he's seen in his lifetime. You heard me correct. He said Donald Trump is the most pro-black president he's seen in his lifetime. Let's hear what he had to say.
To be honest, this is probably going to be and I'm going to say this at this table, the most pro-black president that we've had in our lifetime, because, and I try to, analyze the people that I encounter. This president actually wants to prove something to our community, our faith-based community and our ethnic community. The last president didn't feel like he had to. This administration is probably going to be more proactive regarding urban revitalization and prison reform than any president in your lifetime. If we work together, give him a chance, we will do something. This administration will continue to make history.
So we're going to talk to Pastor Keith about that and see what he thinks. First, do you think that statement's true?
Oh, absolutely. He's absolutely wrong as it relates to that. And I really don't think that he was qualified to even make that statement. But I'll tell you, this discussion is very healthy. Yeah, I'll say that. So I don't know where he got any of his statistics, but one of the things that I can say that Donald Trump will do for blacks is it'll put us in a position where we'll fall back on our knees and begin to look to the one who is really in control of everything, and that is our Father God. So that is the only thing that I'm grateful to this particular president about.
Well, it is true that he's definitely ruffled some feathers, and I'm sure people have been making more prayers than usual because he's done so many things that have harmed so many people. But I would like to get your opinion on this too. So it seems like a lot of the black pastors were invited to go and speak to Donald Trump, which no issues with that.
Sure.
But it also seems, at least according to Pastor Jamal Bryant, that they were instructed that they could not ask any questions during that meeting. So it seemed like the meeting was almost a photo.
Sure.
What was your opinion on that?
Yeah, that probably makes sense. I could see the administration really sort of putting everything in a box. But that being said, let me just say this. So number one, about the meeting. The meeting is appropriate. We don't have to respect the person or whatever, but we do have to respect the seat. Now, and with a disclaimer, I'll say that
some would even say you shouldn't respect the seat if the person isn't respectful.
Well, the seat is a different issue because it's the entirety of the country. And I didn't like it when they were disrespectful of the seat under Barack Obama, under President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And so subsequently, everything is a seed. And so now that seed is returning back as a harvest of disrespect because they sent out a lot of disrespect. And so now they're reaping a great deal of disrespect. And so I don't want to return disrespect with disrespect because it's a never-ending cycle. And
but why do you think the pastors went to the meeting, didn't make demands, and it doesn't seem like they called Donald Trump out for all of the detrimental behavior that he has really supported and encouraged as president?
Well, I think there's the real fact of the matter is that there is, based on the church that is in the media, there is not a free church anymore. And so when you're not free, so in other words, if you're getting grants or you have some expectation of receiving some level of favor, then there can be no liberty. But if you study the Old Testament, many of the prophets in the Old Testament, they talked to kings and they talked to them in a way that they were very respectful. You'll find passages where they say, "Oh, king, live forever." You'll find passages even when they spoke to David where they told stories, they talked parabolically before they got to the fact that they were going to let the king know that he was in fact sinning. And so there is a way to be respectful and objectful at the same time. So in other words, you can say anything to just about anybody, but really at the end of the day, you're required to say what thus saith the Lord.
So you would agree that there should have been at least some conversation holding the administration accountable for the actions that caused that really wreaked havoc in the lives of a lot of people that those same pastors are supposed to represent.
Yes, I do. One of the problems, as I see it, with the African American church is we have pastors that are building their own kingdoms and not the kingdom. The kingdom of God strengthens those that are within the kingdom by virtue of the word of God, the power of God, and the authority of God. But when people just give you enough so that you'll have to come back and eat from their hands, then many pastors become idols, and it is inconsistent with the real purpose of the kingdom of God. And so that is a problem in our community.
Why, if you could imagine, why would Pastor Smith say what he said about Donald Trump? Was it purely to suck up? I mean, what would be the benefit of being a pastor, representing the African American community, and making a statement that really people in that community would find hurtful and almost dismissive?
Yeah, I can find no way to defend his comments, but this is the thing that I want the Christian community to understand, is that we ultimately can be responsible to only one God. And so no matter who's in power, we still have to look to the God of our salvation. Now, let me just say something else about some of the Democratic presidents that we've had. Bill Clinton was certainly not a friend of the African American community, but since he played that horn and got black folk to dancing, he danced tons of families, multiple generations, right into the penal system. So I'm not a fan of the Clintons. I'm not a fan of a liberal agenda that puts us in a place where we go straight down the water slide into the pit of hell. I'm for just laws. I'm for morality, and I'm not for a racist agenda that further segregates or separates. I'm for an agenda that is righteous, and it is for the benefit of the people.
All right, well, thank you so much, Pastor Keith, for your
Quite
opinions.
welcome.
I'm glad that even though you were a pastor, you definitely could see the error with that meeting and the optics of all of it. And at the end of the day, I do hope that someone can sit down with President Trump and get to him and have the conversation respectfully, but with accountability.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him. I think I have some answers for President Trump, and I think he'd be well pleased. And let me just add this. I know we're getting over time. This is the type of president that wants to say that he has done something that the previous president that has not done.
Yeah.
I think that our elected officials do have an obligation to the community to at least talk to him, but offer him some answers for many of the problems that are plaguing urban America, because when we put money in urban America, we'll eliminate a great deal of the crime.
That makes a lot of sense, and I would agree with that, definitely. So where can we find Cornerstone? Give us the information.
Cornerstone Christian Fellowship, 4101 Flossmoor Road in the great city of Country Club Hills. We look forward to seeing you there. Service starts at 11 a.m. So please come on out.
And services on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Sundays and Wednesday night Bible studies at 7:30. Thank you so much for reminding me of that.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for joining us. Give me your feedback. What do you think about Pastor Smith's comments? Let me know in the comments, and we'll have some dialogue.